So once again, good morning, dear students. Hope all of you are keeping fine. This video is again for the students of class 9. And in my last video, I have introduced the world of Shakespeare, Merchant of Venice drama. That was the introductory part you have understood. And today, we are going to begin the class, the drama as such. So please take care. English literature, drama is Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 1. And the characters we are going to find in this scene, the introductory part, mainly Antonio, Salarino. They are the characters, and of course the location where this scene takes place, it is a street in Venice. What we are going to see in this one, so let me just tell that the opening scene gives the exposition, the situation on which the story is based. We are introduced to Antonio the merchant, who gives the title to the drama. Interest is heightened by showing him in a melancholic mood. What do you mean by melancholic? Melancholic means sad or disappointed mood. Salarino and Salanio, his friends, give various reasons for his sadness and try to bring him out of it. The hero of the play, main actor of the play, Antonio, is in a melancholic mood. Thus his friends, Salarino and Salanio, they try to bring their best friend Antonio out of this situation. Bassanio, the closest friend of Antonio, asks for a loan from him in order to present himself as an eligible suitor to Portia, who lives in Belmont. A rich heiress of Belmont. Antonio's ships are still at sea. He has no ready cash with him, but he authorizes Bassanio to use his good name for credit and get a loan from the moneylenders from Venice. Dear students, this is what we are going to learn in this class. Of course, as it is a big drama, I am not going to teach you the total scene. That is impossible. You will not be able to understand. Thus, what I am going to do, I am going to do the page number that is 21 and 22 for you. I would like to show that pages for you. Please observe. Please, this is page number 21, and hope it is clear for you, visible for you. And the next page is 22. Page number 22. Please have a glance at this one. All right. Okay. Now let us have the class. This scene takes place in a street in Venice. Please remember, the location is a street in Venice. Here three friends are coming together, walking, and they are having some kind of lively conversation. And Antonio, the hero of the play, opens the dialogue and tells, let me read the passage for you. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff it's made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. And such a want which saddens makes of me that I have much ado to know myself. Antonio, the hero of the play, says to his friends, dear friends, in sooth means in reality, I do not know why I am sad. All of us face various difficulties and disappointments in our life, and we know what is the cause behind that. Here, our hero of the play, Antonio, he is unable to understand what causes him this melancholic feeling. What is the cause behind his sadness or disappointment. He says that it wearies me. Wearies means it makes me tired. And of course, if a friend is tired or in a disappointed condition, that affects his friends also. And he says, you say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it or came by it. How this disappointment, melancholic feeling came to me, from what is the source, what is the origin, I do not know where all these things are. What stuff it's made of. Everything is made with some kind of stuff. And Antonio feels that this disappointment, melancholic feeling, is also made of some substance or some stuff, but of what stuff I do not know. Now, whereof it is born, from where it came from, what is the source, the original point, the originating place, I do not know. I am to learn, I have to learn. And such a one which sadness makes of me, that means this type of situation makes me an absent-minded person, almost like an abnormal person. It makes me like that I have much ado to know myself. Because of this condition, because of this melancholic condition, I find it very difficult to understand my own self. It is very important, dear students, to understand oneself. We all try to understand others in the best possible way. Maybe we know about 100% about a person or others. But the question is that how much you know about yourself. Self-knowledge, knowledge about oneself, that is very important in our life. Thus, the opening dialogue, Antonio says to his friends, Salarino and Salanio, dear friends, I am really disappointed, in a melancholic mood, but I do not know what is the reason, what is the cause of this one. So, such a situation makes me an absent-minded person. Please look at this test. You will get your test, and on the right side, the meaning of the difficult words are given here, as you can find here. So please have a note of it, and word by word, line by line, I am trying to explain and make it to you. Then our Salarino is saying the things. See, your mind is tossing on the ocean. Salarino is saying, Antonio, my friend, you are disappointed, you are in a melancholic mood because your ships filled with all the cargo items, they are in the ocean and your mind is there. And any danger that can cause to your ship, that can automatically make you sad and disappointed. See, your mind is tossing on the ocean. There, where your argosies with portly sail. Argosies means the cargo ships. Portly sail. Your argosies filled with all the cargo items for the merchandise is there in the reason. And the thought about those may be the reason why you are disappointed or in a melancholic mood. And there in the water, how your ships move, like cygnias and rich burghers on the flood. Your argosies are moving like cygnias, important citizens or gentlemen. They are moving in the ocean. And, or as it were the pagans of the sea. As it were the pagans of the sea. Means like your argosies in the ocean, they are doing a procession, moving ahead. They are going on a procession, burghers on the flood, or as it were the pagans of the sea, do overpeer the petty traffickers. The small in the ocean you will find or in the sea, you will find small ships which moves very fast than the big cargo ships. What they do? As they pass, petty traffickers, small ships, as they pass, they toss on the waves and pay respect and go away, run ahead of the cargo ships. When a big person or a huge personality or respectable personality comes to your school for a function, we all respect him, we all say namaste. And from there we go, isn't it? The same way, seeing the cargo ship's arrogancies of Antonio, small ships, small boats, they do respect in reverence and they run very fast. Pagans of the sea do or peer the feet, that courtesy to them, like small ships tossing on the ocean, on the water. They pay respect to the cargo ship of our Antonio. Yes, of them, they courtesy to them, do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings. That means that move up and down as if they are showing respect. Do them reverence, show respect to them, fly, speed past. Before they go ahead of the cargo ships of Antonio, what they do? The small ships, they bend, toss on the waves, and they pay respect. It's an imaginary used here, imagery, So, that is one of the reasons why our Salarino is saying, why our Antonio is in disappointed or melancholic mood. First reason, the reason number one, that is, your ships filled with all the cargo items are in the ocean, and of course, the thought about those arrogancies, that may be the reason why you are so sad. Now, let me go to the next page, that is, now Salanio is saying, next possible reason. Salanio is saying the next possible reason why our Antonio is in this melancholic condition. He says, believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. Salanio is saying, sir, if I had the business venture like yours, most of my attention, my concentration would be there in the ship or in the ocean. Venture means business operations. If I had such business abroad, my chief attention would be in that business. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind. So, in that case, what I would be doing? I would be plucking the blade of grass and tossing in the air. For what purpose? Where the ship goes, to which side the wind blows, to that side I would be guiding my ship for the business purpose. Now, let me show something to you. The flow of the wind. Now, I'm going to toss a small piece of paper, and just imagine this is the blade of grass, and I'm going to toss it, and to which side it flies, let us see. Yes, the wind is almost going to this side. See, once again you can see that. See, again. See, the wind is almost going to this side, isn't it? Yes. So, in these days, Salanis says that if I had the business son, I would be directing my ship to that particular area where the wind blows. For what purpose? For the business. For the business purpose, I would be directing my ship to that side. Now, believe me, sir, yes. Know where sits the wind. Peering in maps, for ports and piers and roads. I will be carefully studying, observing the map, which is the suitable area for grass. Yes, peering in maps for ports. Ports means harbor, and piers and roads. And every object that might make me fear misfortune to my venture, out of doubt would make me sad. Any possible danger, the thought of causing or having any possible danger to my ship, that would definitely make me mad or disappointed. Who says? Our Salalio is saying to Antonio. So he says that if I had such business, I won't be simply sitting here, but most of my affections, my thoughts would be with that ship, and of course I will be leading my ship to the area where the wind blows, or the suitable area where business can be done to that, and any possible danger that may cause, definitely that will make me disappointed. Now again, our Salarino is saying another reason. So it's a big passage again. Let me read it for you, then I will explain it to you. My wind, cooling my broth, would blow me to an oak. When I thought what harm a wind too great at the sea might do, I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy and true docked in sand, veiling her high rib lower than her rib, to kiss her burial. Should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks, which, touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter all her spices on the stream, enrobe the roaring waters with my silks, and in a word, but even now worth this, and now worth nothing, shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing behence would make me sad? But tell not me, I know Antonio is sad to think upon this merchandise. Now, dear students, let us come back to this same passage once again, what our Salarino is saying to our Antonio. Let us see. This big dialogue given by our Salarino, it can be summarized into three parts or three forms. Now, imagine, dear students, you are drinking a cup of tea. It is very hot, and you are about to drink. You know it is very hot, so what do you do? Before drinking, what do? You will blow some air to that tea or hot item, like you will drink like this, isn't it? Again, right? This is what you do, we all do. Very good. Now, little bit wind which comes out of your mouth has the power to calm down the heat of that particular tea which you are going to drink, isn't it? In that case, you imagine the huge waves and tides that arises in the ocean, how it can destroy or damage the ship. Imagine again, imagine this is the ocean or sea, and in this sea, a small ship is here. See, a small ship. See, this small ship. In this huge ocean or sea, what is a small, this one, ship? A ship is nothing. And great winds or waves that arises in the ocean that can very easily destroy the tiny ship in the ocean, right? Now, again, please come back to the test. I would like to take your attention to the test again. See, my wind, the wind which comes from the mouth of our Salerno, cooling my broth means soup, would blow me to an oak. That can make me a real problem. See, oak or means can be in a shocking situation. I can imagine how little wind which comes from my mouth has the power to cool down the heat of the broth. In that case, I can also imagine how serious winds causing in the ocean that can easily destroy the ship. Would blow me to an oak. When I thought what harm a wind too great at the sea might do, a great wind blowing in the ocean, what damage they can do to this cargo ship which is filled with all the cargo items. I should not see the sandy hourglass run. So in this situation, I won't be simply sitting at the sandy hourglass. Earlier times before the invention of wrist watches, clocks, and so on. What was the instrument used for measuring or calculating or finding time? It was mainly sandy hourglass, sand hourglass. What is the sand hourglass? See, a funnel like this one, isn't it? And it is filled with what? Sand, the sand grains. And a small hole is there, small passage, and when this total sand falls to this side, to the bottom part, then they calculated it as 1 hour or calculated time like that way. So an apparatus, sandy hourglass, an apparatus with two spheres of glass joined together with a tiny hole between, through which sand runs from one sphere to the other in 1 hour. The apparatus was used to indicate time before watches became very common. So, the situation in the sea, especially with winds and the waves, how much damage it can cause to this one. See, I should not see the sandy hourglass run. I won't be simply waiting to see how the time moves, but I should think of shallows and of flats, especially when I see this sandy hourglass. I would be definitely thinking about the shallows, think of the shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy Andrew dogged in sand. Wealthy Andrew is referred to the cargo ship, the cargo ship of Antonio. So that is called the wealthy Andrew. The cargo ship filled with all the merchandise items for business purpose, for selling purpose. So immediately I think about the shallows and flat area, sandy area of the sea. I would be thinking about those things. And see my wealthy Andrew dogged in, get caught. Once the ship run into the sand beds, definitely it can get buried inside here. Thus, our Salarino is saying that I will be thinking about the shallows, and shallows means not so clear, not so deep, flatbirds, and see my wealthy Andrew dogged in, veiling her high top lower than her ribs or mouth, When a ship or a boat gets buried in the sand or moss, 70% or 80% of that ship is buried. Only showing the upper part of that ship a bit. That is what going to happen. So he would be thinking about those things, wailing, revealing her high top lower than her ribs, this ribs area, to kiss her burial. She would be showing. Should I go to church? Now he is taking the third example. Should I go to church and see my holy edifice of stone there? Especially when he goes to the church. Earlier times, the churches were made with boulders, big stones and so on. So, our Salarino is saying that when I go to church, I just see the huge stones there with which the church is made. Immediately, that makes me aware of the hidden stones or rocks that are inside the water, which a navigator may not realize. Yes. And knowingly what will happen? If a ship runs on the hidden rocks, imagine this particular ship, it is running and hitting on these hidden rocks in the ocean, what would happen? Within no time, the ship can get damaged and the entire thing can be spoiled. You all have watched the Titanic movie, isn't it? How many of you have seen this Titanic movie? I have seen at least 20 times this movie because I like it very much. And how this got damaged? Because of the huge iceberg. Accidentally, it ran into the huge iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean and got damaged and sank there in the Atlantic Ocean. Isn't it? Same way, iceberg on the top of water we will see a little bit, but inside the water it is enormous, huge. So, same way, our Salarino is saying that whenever I go to church, I not only just see the church, the physical structure of the church alone, but what I am seeing, the hidden rocks in the water which could cause great damage to my ship. So, which touching but my gentle vessel side means ship side, would scatter all her spices on the stream. If a hidden rock hit or collided with this ship, all the valuable things that are stored in the cargo ship, that would be washed away. Spices on the stream, enrobe the roaring waters with my silks. Enrobe, cover. See, enrobing. I'm sorry for that. To cover the entire water with all the silks and all the spicy things that are in the water, that are in the ship. Enrobe the roaring waters with my silks. And in a word, but even now worth this, all the valuable things, all the highly valuable things that can get damaged, or it can lose its value within no time, if such danger happens to the ship. And in a word, but even now worth this and now worth nothing. Shall I have the thought to think on this? Now finally our Salarino is saying, Antonio, shall I think in this line that you are worried or anxious about the cargo ship and any possible danger that might happen to your ship? Can I think? And you are sad because of this one. the lack of thought that such a thing behence would make me sad, accidentally happening. Behance means accidentally happen something, accidentally any danger that happens to a particular ship. In such a thing can I think, behance would make me sad. But tell not me, I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise. So, finally he is saying that, Antonio, shall I think you are melancholic, sad because of this particular situation? So, Salarino gives the possible reason, Salanio, again Salarino, they give the possible reasons of Antonio's melancholy. Because Antonio is not able to understand the cause of his disappointment, melancholic feeling. Thus, his best friends, both Salarino and Salarino, they are trying to bring him out of this particular situation. See, that is what a real friend is, When your friend is suffering, you try to help him or try to bring him out of that situation, because you don't want your friend to be in a disappointed, in a melancholic mood. Let us see what our Antonio is saying. With that I will stop. Believe me, no. I thank my fortune for it. I thank fortune, God of fortune, for blessing me with all type of fortunes, luck in my life. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted. One bottom trusted means one ship. My business is not just depending on one single vessel, ship, nor not to one place. My business is again not limited to or concentrated only on one area, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. So, no, the total thing is not just depending on 1 year's profit. No. Even if I have lost this year's fortunes, no problem. Next year, so I have plenty in store upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore, my merchandise makes me not sad. Thus, dear friends, Antonio is saying that I am not sad because of the fortune, because of the business affairs. No, because my business is not just focusing on one ship alone, not on one particular area, or I am not just depending on 1 year's profit alone. Therefore, these things, anything that is related to business or merchandise, I am not disappointed. I am not, because of this one, I am not disappointed. Then Salerno says one beautiful thing. Why then you are in love? Yes. See, if this is not the thing, our comedian, our Salerno is saying, if this is not the reason, then definitely you are in love. You must have some broken love or love affair. That is the reason why you are so sad. Yes. You have heard that beautiful Hindi movie, Dil pe patthar rakhkar maine break up kar liya, isn't it? Some kind of love affair. That is the reason, Antonio, you are very sad. Antonio, five means shame. No. Not like that. Not because of this one, I am sad. I am not sad. See, then Salarino saying that, not in love neither. No, you are sad, not because of the love neither. Then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. And it were as easy for you to laugh and live and say you are merry, because you are not sad. A person should be happy or disappointed. At the same time, a person cannot be happy and disappointed. Whenever you visit a doctor, in front of the door of doctor, you may have noticed doctor in or out, isn't it? In, if the sign is in, then definitely you will understand doctor is available. Or if it is out, then you will understand doctor is out, not available, isn't it? Doctor cannot be in and out at the same time. So then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. Merry means happy. Then it were as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. See here, this double negative is there. Note is yes. Note is reference number 49 on your page number 23 right side. Not in love, double negative for emphasis. In modern English, you should read not in love, neither. Leave, freeze. So, because you are sad. So, now by two-headed Janus, nature has framed strange fellows in her own time. Nature has created people, strange people in her own time. We all are the product, wonderful product of nature. And nature created all of us in this way. We are not able to change. We cannot change that one. No, we cannot. Absolutely we cannot. We cannot exactly say why a particular person is created, formed in such a way, why he is different from that one. No. And this basic thing we cannot change. See what happened with our pop king, Michael Jackson. He was born as a black person. Wonderful singer. Great, extremely wonderful singer. And you may have seen his photographs above the neck, from neck to face, all those things. He did the plastic surgery and he was looking like penguin, black and white, isn't it? And as a result, what happened? He had to take plenty of drugs, medicine, and every time he used to carry an umbrella, isn't it? And finally, because of the continuous medication, and maybe because of some other reasons, he passed away. He left the world here. He was called back by God. Dear friends, the way God has created us, nature has created us, we need to accept. We have to accept. Now, I would like to take your attention to a historical figure, that is Janus. Janus, a Roman god of doors who had two faces, one frowning, the other smiling. Frowning, angry, very serious looking and smiling face. One head looking inwards and the other looking outside. One of his heads looking inside, another one looking outside. He is referred to here to indicate that nature creates two different types of men with different outlooks. Thus, what the point is that Antonio is created in this way, in this disappointed way or melancholic way. It is not his fault. He has been created like that, and nobody can change that condition. So that is the, please remember and make a note of this Janus, a Roman god of doors, who had two faces, one looking inside and one looking outside, one face having the smiling appearance and the other one very frowning appearance. So, now by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. sun that will evermore peep through their eyes. There are some people in the world, they are always talkative, smiling, but at the same time, there are some other people, they are always serious. 7 into 24 into 365 days, they are very much serious. They never show their teeth in the form of a smile or laugh. And some people laugh like parrots at a bagpiper. Parrots. What is the character of these parrots? Every time they are talking. Parrots always talk. And bagpiper and other or such vinegar aspect. Vinegar aspect means having a serious atmosphere, serious attitude. They shall not show their teeth in way of smile. Even if the best joke of the world is told, they will never laugh. They will never laugh, show their teeth in the form of a smile. Though Nestor swear that just be laughable, just means joke. Nestor, again, you have to remember, is a historical figure, an old and wise Greek general who fought in the Trojan War. A joke had to be extremely funny if Nestor laughed at it. Nestor never laughed, and of course he laughed at the best jokes. So that is the thing. Thus, what I want to say is that nature has created Antonio in such a way, and we cannot change that one. So please remember this one. So just Salanio. Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Gratiano and Lorenzo. Fare ye well, we leave you now with better company. Now, as they were talking, as Salanio was talking, there arrived Bassanio. Who is Bassanio? The best intimate friend of Antonio, for whom Antonio took lot of risk. There came Gratiano, the friend of our Bassanio, and of course Lorenzo, again the friend of Gratiano and the lover of Jessica. They all reached. Thus our Salanio is saying that here comes your lady. See, kinsman probably means a friend. Kith and kins, that phrase you have learned. See, here comes. So we are going. Now Salanio, I would have stayed. Salanio is saying, I would have stayed with you unless if the worthier friends had not prevented me. If worthier friends like Bassanio, Gratiano and Lorenzo, if they had not come, I would have stayed with you until I made you happy. I would have, but worthier friends are here, so we are going. Both Salerno and Salanio saying. Then let us see Antonio what he says. Your word is very dear in my regard, in my respect, in my opinion. You are as important, as intimate as Bassanio and other friends. Like. So, in my opinion, you are as important as any other person. I take it, your own business calls on you. Yes, I know. You have your own business, you have your own work. That is the reason why you are planning to work. And you embrace the occasion to depart, and you take this opportunity to leave. I know you have your own work to do. Thus, you take this opportunity, the opportunity of the arrival of Bassanio, Lorenzo and Gratiano. Thus you want to go. Alright. So they go. And here, dear students, we stop for the day. And please remember, to us just one introductory part I have taught you. Page number that is 21, 22, 23. 21, 22, 23 and 24 half. Please read by yourself, listen the video continuously and note down your doubts and clarifications. See, As I have already told you in the book, on the right side of your textbook, these word meanings are given there, and of course I have also explained in the best possible way. What you have to do is that read the text 1 or 2 or 3 times, because it is very difficult for you to learn it by yourself with one single reading. Then your homework is that write down the summary of this particular class. What you have understood, that one please write down and keep it as a note for you. Alright, hope you have understood the class. Once again, I would like to show the test for you. This is page number 21. Please have a note it. Please have a note of it. Then this is page number 22 and 23. This is page number 22 and next one is 23. And finally, the next page is 24 until half, almost half here. This one I have taught you. For any clarifications and doubts, please contact me, or I will be clarifying your doubts in our next class. Hope you have understood. Thus, take care, stay home and study home. Alright. God bless you. Thank you so much. This is Joseph.